I still remember it. It's like it just happened yesterday. I was just a little girl then. About 8 to 10 years old. Staring at the night sky. Try to be able to see Santa Claus. Also known as Santa Claus. My mother is holding me in her arms. And raise your hand to each shadow that crosses the moon. In the sky, we live in a small town. Separate from the outside world, with just 2 neighbors near us. Her thighs trembled with the cold. I still remember making the growls. Pretend you're a dragon spewing fire. Actually, it's just the heat that I'm breathing out of my mouth. She's always laughing and giggling. Every time I do something so stupid. I love to make my mother happy. The snow completely covered the ground. Used to be a naughty kid. I put my foot down and kick it in the air. There's snowflakes in my hair. My mother rubbed her hands and said, "I wish your father was here too," she said with slightly wet eyes. The truth is they're not together anymore. My brother lives with my dad and I live with my mom. They agreed to let the 2 of you meet on the holidays. But it seems like my father didn't keep that promise. Run to my mother, screaming into the air at night, and watch the night sky together on full moon nights. That's enough for me. I miss my brother, but I want to see Santa more than that. When you're young, things are important. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. For you too, Mom. Do you think Santa Claus? I will give you the gift you have asked for. No. I kept harassing my mother with questions like that. She put on a gentle smile and closed her eyes. Honey, I'm not sure. How good have you been this year? She joked. That joke always makes me think. I've been very, very good, Mom, I promise. All the teachers at school love you. She has a very strong arm, just like any other single mother. I love being hugged and taken care of. But not that night. I have to observe, I wiggled to jump out of my mother's arms. It was just past midnight. And then run towards the moon. Shout a Merry Christmas. I screamed as loud as I could. The neighborhood kids are playing down the street. You can hear me. Merry Christmas, they take turns rough up. I watch them play hacky sacks. Have fun and enjoy your holiday time. I want to be like that too. I want to be surrounded by other kids. Play and do what kids do. I remembered my brother and started crying. My mother noticed the unusual tranquility from me. She came over and hugged me on both shoulders. I want to come down and play with my friends. You can ask Cindy, she told me. I wiped the tears from my cheeks. Before I can give you an answer. Then a voice boomed out between Chen and us. Lick lick. Khan's voice was deep and dry. Merry Christmas, little girl. I think it's Santa. He's finally here. I roll my eyes around, trying to find the source of that sound. A tall figure wearing a red and white suit. Come to us. I was so excited. Santa, I said out loud, did you bring my present? I said as he got closer and closer. The smell of metal, copper and alcohol started radiating in the air. You've got it right here, okay? He replied. My mother pulled me up and carried me. I was so confused when she picked me up. Then back away from Santa. He brought my gift. Get out of here now, she screamed. My mother's voice trembled, and this scared me. My mother was never afraid of anything, and her voice was always very calm. I look at my mother. Her eyes are looking very scared and confused. The clouds of vapor came out of her mouth. My mother turned to ask. She pointed her hand at him. It's like trying to order him to leave. You need to get out of here right away. I glanced at Santa Claus. It's still coming towards us. But I'm starting to notice a few things about him. When he gets close enough, the lights on the porch, into the parts of his body, then I can see clearly. There was red blood on his clothes. His beard flared his emaciated cheeks and wild eyes. My little heart is pounding, and so fast that I can hear it with my own ears. I'm only here to bring joy, he said, then laughed to himself. He spoke slowly in a very low voice. I'm starting to get hair on the back of my head. He's only about 10 feet away from us. He's about 3 heads taller than my mother. I noticed that his teeth were black and brown. He came closer and stopped. My mother was so nervous that she was holding her breath. I was too young to understand. This old man is here to hurt us. But I'm old enough to know what fear is. She ran away while holding me in her arms. He quickly followed. My weight must have made my mother. It takes a lot more power. I can hear you and feel it in her breath. You just need to get us in my little house, and maybe we'll be safe. I screamed. My mother fell forward. But I can still turn around. Let me not be oppressed. Santa's got your ankle. But my mother's priority was to save me. She pushed me forward towards the house. I fell a few feet in front of my mother. And when I stand up, my mom started telling me what to do. Run, get in the house now. She screamed out loud urgently. Santa starts to wrestle with his mother's clothes, trying to push mom out in front, to be able to do what he's thinking. Go inside and call 1. Mom told me lice 1 right now. And then Santa punches my mother in the face. 1 shot, 2 shots. She stopped moving. Blood coming out of my nose and eyebrows. I stepped back and couldn't make any noise. I don't know what to do. He stood up on my mother. Then he looked at me with a sick smile, laughing at a guy like before. I panicked and ran towards the house. But of course he's much faster than me. He ran over and blocked my way back to the house. I started to gasp. What are you going to do now, little girl? He laughed, and I looked at the children and realized that they've seen me too. I started running towards them as fast as I could. I only know Cindy. She always brings us food every time my mom has to work past dinner. But it's her husband who's running towards me. That's what drives me to run faster. He hurt my mother. Help me, please. The man running, and even steps are coming closer to me. And I can feel the snow being shot up in the back of my leg. Cindy's husband has a way. I'm about a few feet away. I ran to him. I hope God will pick me up. But instead I was knocked to the ground. My face is buried in the cold and wet snow. I got up as quickly as I could because of the panic. Cindy's husband is fighting Santa. Even though he looks bigger and stronger, Santa is winning. While the scuffle happened, my mother is awake and running towards me. I only realized it when she ran up to me and kicked Santa's back as hard as you can. It almost doesn't do any damage. She tried to push him and hit him, but he didn't have any reaction from that action. Cindy screamed towards the house. She called the police. She must be talking to her children, while Santa choked hands on her husband's neck. I wanted to help, so I ran. I also tried to hit him. My little fists. It's almost impossible to get through his thick fur coat. The hat he was wearing fell off his head while I was crying and beating him. And I realized that he didn't have any hair. All efforts have been unsuccessful. My mother tried desperately to push him down. Stop, don't hurt him. She prayed, but Santa didn't care. Cindy's husband is unconscious. Santa releases a hand and pulled something out of my pocket. I stood looking desperately while he punches the fists in the man's abdomen. Porkia. And so on. My mother fell behind, eyes full of fear. When she's watching the scene, that a little kid like me, it's impossible to understand. Blood flows to the ground. Shoot up the snow and make it evaporate. My mother covered her mouth. And then you grab me. She held my hand very tightly. to the point where I feel a little bit of pain, then picked me up. When she was running away, I turned around, seeing Santa, after stabbing Cindy's husband several times. Look, follow us. It was very dark. Now that I think back, he was looking at Miss Cindy at the time, because then he went to their house, started kicking hard at the door. My mother put me down. I fell to my knees as she closed the door and locked it up. Mom's hair is messed up, and the pretty white sweater, it's now stained with small blood stains. She didn't even look at me. Honey, can you call 911 at a time? 911 can use the phone. Please do as you're told. She told me even though she was trying to be calm. But I can't hide my voice, my shivering. I ran into the kitchen and locked the door, and she locked all the windows in the house. I told the operator that the old man, Noel, is hurting everyone. I said, give them your home address. He told me to hold the phone and wait. And that's what I did. The phone line is quite long, so I can just wait and stare outside and look at my mom. Where did the noise come from? He asked me. My mom is moving all her stuff, 7 to block the windows. I said she pulled our bed, bookshelves and refrigerators to block all the windows in the house. And then suddenly she stopped. The 7-bar screams echoed from the outside. It came from Miss Cindy's house. I went to the window, the only one that's not completely blocked. Put your hands over your mouth. She took the phone from my hand. He's killing them. The AI, please, come here, please. My mom screamed into the phone's mic. I can hear the operator's voice. Answer back. Then suddenly the screams outside stopped. My mother put the phone down and held me tight inside. We're living in the countryside, too far from the center. Police, it might take an hour to get here. Lost sometimes, I think. If you don't put the phone down, can they come faster? After Santa's done with Cindy's family, he came and started kicking at my door. My mother is a single mother. Hand reinforced the doors themselves right after you left. That's what saved our lives. He broke the windows, tried to get inside the house, and tried to punch, pushing objects that my mother stopped there raw. My mother prayed and cried. To this day I still feel guilty. When I missed out, my mother was too scared. Santa doesn't hurt people. He's bringing people happiness. Even the sound of police sirens, it doesn't make him stop. He started to roll his body, yours at the main door. Do whatever it takes to reach us. When the police confronted him, he still doesn't stop. Even if they used electric guns, he kept breaking down the door. Now that I'm older, I just found out there were loud noises and that night there were gunshots. I've heard hits before in the distance, when that AI is hunting. But it's never been this close. I use my hands to cover my ears. The man who attacked us, his name is Charles Stryker. It's my neighbors. They were not his only victims. That night they were just the last victims. He was drunk and took some other hallucinogenic drugs. And when you come home in that form, he was kicked out of the house by his own wife. She said that, don't come back here when you're not awake yet. As he's walking through our little neighborhood and see the little kids, they're playing happily under the snow, I guess, is that it's activated in nature. Something inside him. He killed 7 people that night, Miss Cindy, her husband Stephen, their son named Peter. He also killed a family of 4 while they're sleeping. It's also our neighbor's family. I guess they forgot, or was subjective without locking the door that night. Demetrius and Cynthia and their little twins, Henriette and Fatima. They're only 2 years old. Until today, my mother still didn't mention the event that night. She's no longer decorating the house or a Christmas tree. She no longer wishes everyone a Merry Christmas. And I didn't even use social media for a whole month. There's Christmas Day, one of my neighbors. I was lucky to survive that night. Cindy's youngest son is named Harvey. We talk sometimes. But sometimes he doesn't answer my calls. I've heard rumors. It's because he's done it a few times. Try to remove yourself from this world. I didn't send it to him. Or my mother's Christmas cards. As for me, this holiday comes every year. I avoid crowded places. Seeing that AI, pretending to be Santa Claus, it would send me into a state of panic. I'd lose my connection to reality. And started screaming like crazy. Santa is hurting them. Please help us. He'll kill them. It's kind of humiliating when that happens. I also have certain difficulties. When you have to live alone. I'm starting to fall into a tornado, deeper and deeper, and a paranoid frenzy. When the snow starts to fall to the ground, I hardly go out in the cold anymore. And I can't live in my own country. Lock the door carefully.